We're going to have a look at a question now regarding IAS 16, and what we want to know is which of the following items must be disclosed in a company's annual financial statements in line with IAS 16, PPE, standing for, of course, property, plant and equipment. You are asked to select all that apply. If you want to have a go at this on your own, I suggest you pause the video now before I work down each one line by line. Depreciation methods adopted for each class of asset. Well, what this is saying is, am I depreciating my non-current assets on the diminishing balance basis, or am I calculating it on the straight line basis? That being the case, I want to know in the end of my financial statements, how do I calculate my depreciation charge for the year? This is relatively important in our annual accounts, so therefore this is going to be appropriate here. The estimated useful lives or depreciation rates which are applied to assets. Again, pretty vital. It is going to be applicable. Remember, depreciation is a non-cash expense, so anything that is in my PRL or financial position is likely to be a rough estimate, a rough guide when it does come to depreciation and a carrying value. So what we want to know is, has that depreciation been calculated fairly to not overstate assets to make the balance sheet look that little bit better for a company? The location of property and equipment. Well, this one isn't applicable. If I have a machinery piece, I put it in my office or I put it in my factory. Ultimately, the value of it isn't going to change based upon its location. So that one we do not need to disclose. A summary of any changes in ownership of assets acquired during the year. Likewise, you do not need to record these as a disclosure note in your financial statements. And details of the revaluation model used if any asset has been revalued during the period. Well, this one is, of course, going to be applicable. You have ultimately changed the value of an asset. It works in the same way as depreciation, whereby it's technically a non-cash expense. So what we want to know is, have you revalued it to reflect an accurate amount to give credibility to you as a company, but also to make sure that your accounts show an accurate, true and reflective case of where you currently are, without overstating profits and without especially overstating your assets on your balance sheet, which is what we're getting at here.